Today, we're going to explore how native speakers really use English, and we'll try it out together. We've organized this exploration into 4 parts. Part 1, the textbook trap, and why real English feels hard. Part 2, sounding polite, calm, and natural. Part 3, social, English, and workplace language. Part 4, why this works and how to use it. Follow along carefully to get the most out of this session.
Okay, let's just jump right into this because I think everyone has been there. You've studied English for years, you've mastered, the past perfect, you finally understand the conditional tense, and then you step out into the real world, you hear 2 native speakers talking, and you feel completely lost. You've just fallen into the textbook trap.
It is the single biggest frustration for learners, especially advanced learners. You have all the knowledge, all the grammar rules, the vocabulary from the book, but then you hear real fast English. You're waiting for, hello, how are you today?
And what do you get? You get, hey, how's it going? What can I get you?
And the brain just, it freezes.
Yeah.
It locks up completely.
Exactly. Your formal education is, of course, incredibly valuable, but it often trains us to speak, formally and rigidly and kind of slowly. The reality is that native speakers use these short, flexible, simple expressions.
They do. They blend words, they leave stuff out, and they really prioritize speed over perfect grammar.
So there's this huge gap. Academic English is about showing what you know. Conversational English is about, building connection and just being efficient.
Right. And our mission in this deep dive is to give you a shortcut across that gap, a fast track to sounding more natural. We're going to analyze the simple, common expressions that people use over and over again, and we won't just look at what they mean, but the deeper reason why they're used.
Because real fluency isn't about using the biggest words.
Not at all. It's about mastering these small, natural-sounding expressions.
Okay, so let's start with what might be the biggest difference. The art of sounding calm, indirect, and polite. We really need to get away from those strong, direct statements from the textbook that honestly can sound a little aggressive.
Yes. And it's fascinating because there's a cultural reason for this. In a lot of English-speaking places, especially at work, being too direct can come across as arrogant, or even like you're trying to start a fight.
So native speakers have these tools to soften what they're saying.
They do. And this is essential for, professional survival.
So what's the #1 tool in this kit? I feel like it has to be, I'm not sure. We all learn it as, I don't have the information.
Right. I lack knowledge.
But if you actually watch a native speaker, they use it even when they do know the answer. It's about sounding calm and open to other ideas. It's just a softer, more natural way to say something than the very blunt, I don't know.
That is such a key insight. Imagine you're in a meeting and someone suggests a new strategy. You don't say, that idea is bad. That just kills the conversation.
Right, it shuts everything down.
Instead, the smart speaker says, I'm not sure if that's the best approach, but let's explore the costs. It keeps the dialogue going. It's collaborative.
And you see that same softening instinct with phrases like kind of and sort of.
They just mean a little or not completely.
Yeah, so instead of me saying, I hate this new policy, which is very final, very strong, I can say, I kind of don't like this new policy, and suddenly it sounds less absolute, more human.
Precisely. You're not starting a fight. And you can get a similar effect by just adding one tiny word. Right.
How does that work?
Well, instead of a strong, I don't like horror movies, you'll hear people say, I don't really like horror movies. That one little word softens the whole thing. It makes it feel less like a judgment on horror movies everywhere.
And we do the same thing with a bit, right? We use it all the time to soften how we feel. It's way more common to hear I'm a bit tired than I'm very tired.
A bit just lowers the drama. It makes you sound calmer.
Okay, and the last one for this section. I guess this one is huge.
Oh, it's crucial. Because it signals you're thinking, but you're not making a final commitment. It means maybe or probably or.
This is what I'm thinking right now, but I could change my mind.
Exactly. If your boss asks when a project will be done, saying, I guess we can finish by Friday, is realistic. It's not the same as promising we will finish by Friday. It makes you sound relaxed, not like you don't know.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, so we know how to sound polite, but what about just keeping the conversation moving? How do we avoid those awkward silences? Let's get into managing the flow.
These are the verbal bridges, the little cues we use while we're thinking. And the first one is a total powerhouse. It depends.
I love this one because life isn't black and white.
It's not. And this phrase shows you know that. If someone asks, should I move to the city? The smart answer isn't yes or no. It's, well, it depends. It depends on your job, your budget.
It's an instant pressure release. It shows you're thinking critically. Okay, what about the one that drives learners crazy? You know?
Yeah.
It's everywhere. What is it actually doing?
It almost never literally means, do you know this fact?
Right.
Most of the time, you know is just a filler. It signals, I'm thinking for a second, or pay attention, I'm trying to connect an idea here.
So if I say, it was a rough week, I had a huge deadline, I'm not testing you. I'm just inviting you into my feeling about it.
Exactly. It's an invitation. And in that same family, we have, we use this all the time to correct ourselves or add a little more detail.
Can you give me an example of that one?
Sure. You might be describing a movie, you say, it was completely boring. Then you think, wait, that's too strong. So you add, the acting was fine, but the plot was just impossible to follow. You're adjusting in real time.
That makes sense. It shows your thought process. Now, if we need to stall for a bit longer, maybe to check a calendar or something.
Easy. You just say, let's see. It buys you time without a long, awkward pause. It shows you're working on the answer.
And what if you've just explained something really complex and you need to bring it back to the main point?
The perfect word for that is basically. It's a great tool for summarizing. Basically, our main goal is to increase sales. Simple.
Okay, let's move out of the mind and into the real world of social stuff. Greetings, invitations, agreeing. We are officially retiring the stiff textbook phrases, starting with how we say hello.
The book says, how are you? But the real king of casual greetings is, how's it going? Here's the secret.
Yeah.
Nobody says it like 3 separate words. It gets blended into one fast sound.
How's it going?
How's it going? Exactly. And the answer is just as quick, good, pretty good, not bad.
No long story about your health.
Nope. Then you have the super casual one, what's up? Or even just sup.
And the key here is that it doesn't mean how are you. It means what are you doing?
Right. So the only correct answer is not much. Or maybe just chilling. If you say, I'm fine, thank you, to sup, it's a dead giveaway.
Totally. And if you run into an old friend you haven't seen in forever, you don't say, it has been a long time. You say, with energy, long time no see.
No, let's talk social verbs. We have to stop saying, would you like to visit my house? It sounds like a royal invitation.
So what's the replacement?
The most important social phrasal verb is to hang out. It just means spending easy, unstructured time together.
And for food or drinks, we love the verb grab. So it's not, would you like to get food? It's, want to go grab a bite, or let's grab a coffee.
The word grab makes it sound so quick and low pressure, effortless.
And if someone invites you to do something and you want to go, what do you say instead of yes?
You say, I'm down, or I'm game. It's simple, enthusiastic, and shows you're ready to go.
Love it. Okay, shifting gears. What if someone explains something to you instead of just saying, I understand over and over?
A much more natural and, I think, empathetic way to say it is, that makes sense. It shows you didn't just hear the words, you followed the logic.
And what about when you strongly agree with someone, especially if they're complaining about something?
Oh, this is a good one. If your coworker says, this deadline is impossible,
Yeah.
you don't just say, I agree. You say, you can say that again. Or even better, tell me about it.
It shows you're on the same team. You share the feeling.
And one more. If someone says sorry for something small, the perfect modern reply is, no worries. It's just friendlier and faster than, no problem.
All right, let's get a bit more specific now and talk about work. Using the right simple phrases here can really make you sound professional.
For sure. The office runs on these little efficient metaphors. For example, if you need to keep someone updated on a project.
You tell them you'll keep them in the loop.
Exactly. Or if you just need a quick chat to check on progress, you suggest that you touch base. You might say, let's touch base this afternoon about the report.
And if you're too busy for a meeting, a really polite way to say that is that you're tied up. It gives a clear picture that you're stuck on something else right now.
And of course, the best phrase of the workday, to call it a day, it means, let's stop working.
My favorite. What about when you're learning a new skill at work and it's difficult?
We call that initial difficulty a learning curve. It's a great phrase because it implies that it's hard now, but it will get easier.
Okay, let's inject a bit more personality. Feelings. How do we talk about feelings beyond just happy or sad?
If you are absolutely exhausted, you don't just say you're very tired, you say you're beat. It implies you're physically tired from work or some kind of activity.
And what's the opposite? If you're super excited about something.
Then you're stoked. It's informal, but it means you are really, really excited. And if you're disappointed about something, you're bummed out.
Stoked and bummed out.
Yeah.
Stoked and bummed out. Got it. We have to take a second here and just mention the engine behind all of this natural language, which is, of course, phrasal verbs.
They are the absolute secret sauce. A phrasal verb is just a verb plus a little word, like a preposition, that completely changes the meaning. Like look means to see, but look for means to search. Look up means to search a list.
And a key one to master is to figure out. It means to find an answer or solve a problem.
Yes, and we have to mention the grammar trap with to look forward to. This one gets everyone.
Right, because the to here is a preposition. You have to use the ing form of the verb after it. I look forward to hearing from you, not hear.
Let's close this section with two powerful phrases. First, at the end of the day. When do we use this?
You use it when you want to cut through all the details and get to the final, most important truth. We can debate this for hours, but at the end of the day, it's the customer's choice.
It's a great concluding phrase. And lastly, what if someone asks you to make a decision, but you're not ready?
You just say, I'll see. It's a soft, natural way to delay. It means I need to think about it, check my schedule, and I'll get back to you.
Okay, so we've gone through dozens of these expressions, which leads to the big question. Why? Why do native speakers talk like this? Why not just speak clearly and directly, like the textbooks?
I think when you dig into it, it comes down to a few core cultural values. The two big ones seem to be efficiency and understatement.
Understatement is huge. In some cultures, really strong direct language is a sign of confidence. But in English-speaking cultures, especially, say, in the UK or in American business, being too direct can make people really uncomfortable. It can seem, well, a bit rude.
Right. It lacks humility. Let's go back to I'm not sure.
Yeah.
By softening your strong opinion, you're basically saying, this is what I think, but I respect everyone here enough to not declare it as a fact.
It's all about collaboration. And efficiency is why we love idioms so much. They're visual. When you say something was a piece of cake, your brain instantly gets a picture of something easy and enjoyable. That meaning transfers so much faster than just saying, that task was not difficult.
So these little expressions are like social currency. They signal that you get the culture, that you're part of the group.
Exactly. You build that rapport much more quickly.
Okay, so that's the why. Now, the most important part for you, listening. How do you actually apply this? It's totally overwhelming to think you have to memorize 50 new phrases right now.
That's a recipe for burnout. The method has to be manageable. So here's our advice. Stop chasing perfect grammar. Start just noticing these real expressions when you hear them.
So here's your mission. Pick just 3 expressions from our deep dive today. Maybe. I'm down. That makes sense, and I'll see. Just 3.
And for the next week, your job is to listen for those 3 phrases everywhere. In movies, on YouTube, in conversations. When you hear one, write it down.
But, and this is the important part, don't just write the phrase. Write down the whole simple sentence you heard it in. That context is your real dictionary. Then you have to use them. Force yourself to use those 3 phrases in your next few conversations.
It will feel weird at first, but you are actively turning passive knowledge into active speech. You're shifting English from a test you need to pass into a tool you can actually use.
So what's the big picture here? We've seen that real English is, well, messy. It's full of pauses and corrections and soft opinions and quick agreements. Nobody speaks like they're reading an essay.
The real goal is to break that wall in your mind between being a student of a language and being a speaker who uses it. When you start naturally using phrases like no worries or I'm stoked, you're signaling comfort. You're signaling connection.
That comfort really is the key, isn't it? The more relaxed you are using these tools, the more natural your English is going to become.
And that leads to the final thought we want to leave you with. The quality of your English isn't measured by how complex your sentences are. It's measured by how simply and frequently you use the most common, essential phrases. If you choose simple, you're choosing fluency.
Learning a language is always a marathon, never a sprint. Keep going, stay curious, and we hope this deep dive helps you sound a little more natural in your very next conversation. We'll catch you later.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed exploring how native speakers really use English. Remember, practice and observation are key to sounding natural. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode. See you next time.